Hey, what is up? It is Xantho, and today's going to be my update on my Scorching Totems Hierophant build. I've made a lot of upgrades in the build. I've switched to Opal rings instead of Vermilion rings for the extra damage. I'm going to go in full glass cannon, even though it's not full glass cannon, it's a little bit tanky. I do have determination, I'm shock immune, I have 60% less ignite duration on me from Aberath, and I am freeze immune from Soul of Brine King. Capture the Tanius, the Black Prayer from, I think it's Relic Chambers mount. I need to capture Purpura the High Aspire from, what is that, Plateau? For the reduced effect of chill on me as well. So I need to get that as well. Because chill still can mess you up, even though if you're immune to freeze. But what have I done? I have, of course, I went low life with Pain Attunement and Coward's Legacy. Not actually low life, it's pseudo low life, but you count as on low life, so you can get a Pain Attunement for 30% more spell damage. Upgraded my shield to one with more block on it, just because I wanted more block. I'm using an Enlighten in here with Malevolence Determination, so I can get an extra aura. Instead of running Period of Elements, which is a 50% reservation aura, I'm able to run two 25% reservation auras. And those would be Herald of Ash and Tempest Shield. Tempest Shield because I wanted to be shock immune and add a bunch of spell block because it adds 26% chance to block spell damage, which is huge. And immunity to shock, which is just fantastic. Then Herald of Ash just grants me 15... what is it? 13% more spell fire damage, and then 20 and 15% increased global fire damage increase, which is great. It's just extra, lots of extra damage. And then I have a Vitality in there, which I am able to run because I run the Vitality Life Mastery, and the Determination Life Mastery, and then the Reservation Nodes, and the Mono Reservation Efficiency Mastery there. And then I'm running an Enlighten and a 30% reservation efficiency shield. So that's how I'm able to run two 50% auras, two 25% auras, and a Vitality. So that's like 160, 170% reservation that I'm able to actually accomplish, and still have mana left over to actually cast my skills. So I've upgraded to level 4 Enhance. If you put this in a Verdi's Veil, it gets upgraded to level 6, which then gives you 7 extra totems from Phantasmal Searing Bond to 20 quality, which is giving 40 quality, so it's literally 60% quality Phantasmal Searing Bond. So 7 maximum totems, and then plus multiple totems is 9 maximum totems. And I put Inspiration on there because Searing Bond has kind of a high 73 mana. I can't even cast it, so it's got kind of a high mana cost. So level 20 Inspiration helps a ton. Swap around a little bit of my gear. I now have a +2 amulet with +1 fire skill gems, +1 intelligence skill gems, Awakener Orb crafted. Got the attributes. I did need to pick up a dex node here because my previous amulet was just a +1 fire skill gems amulet, but it had like 60 dex on it, so it gave me all the dex I needed for Swift Affliction. But now I have Awakened Swift Affliction, so I needed the extra dex. I needed like 129, and I have 130, so I'm barely there. Just barely there. Oh, sorry, 126. Regardless, I'm barely there. Level 21, 20 Scorching Ray, 520 Awaken Control Destruction, 520 Awaken Elemental Focus, 520 Awaken Swift Affliction, +2 because I'm getting a +2 Soul Mantle. 520 Awaken Burning Damage, then 2020 Efficacy. I wanted to get a 2120, but it's only 1% more damage, and I'm thinking, whatever. Actually, I don't think level 23 Efficacy actually does anything over level 22, so it might not actually even be more damage. But regardless, in Power 4 is actually not the play here. In Power 4 is actually not as much damage because we're already getting so many levels. Like our Scorching Ray is level 28. 2 levels from the Soul Mantle because it's corrupted with the Vol Implicit. 3 levels from Global Modifiers, 1 from the Scepter, 2 from the Amulet, and then 2 levels from Awakened Elemental Focus gives +1 level of Elemental Skill Gems, and then Awakened Rain Damage gives +1 supportive Fire Skill Gems. So the level 28 Scorching Rain is huge. That in Empower is actually less damage than an Efficacy. Even in Empower 4 is actually less damage than an Efficacy. The real end game would be Socketed Duration Gems and then +1 Socketed Gems, so double corrupted. But I didn't have the money for any of those. I think there was one in the market for like 15x, and I didn't have the currency for it at the time. I kind of spent all my currency on the gems, and I'm kind of broke right now. I only have like 3x and 40c left. But Anomalous Infernal Cry for the extra Warcry speed, Elemental Weakness. I swapped away from Flammability because Elemental Weakness gives the same amount of LE resist strip, and I was able to find a 30% Elemental Weakness curse effect for Verdi's Veil. I couldn't find any Scorching Ray damage for Verdi's Veils. I couldn't find any Flammability curse effect for Verdi's Veils, but I was able to find a 30% Elemental Weakness curse effect for Verdi's Veil on the market. So I bought that and then divined it to +2 and some good elemental resistance because it was like +1 like min roll elemental resistance. So I divined it a couple times. But this actually gives big damage. The 30% increased elemental weakness curse effect actually gives big damage. I think it takes it from like 45 to, let's see, divided by 10. It's 1.5 times 3. I can't do math right now. 4.5 times 3 is 12, 13.5, so that brings it up to 58.5. So basically 58% LE resist strip over 45% LE resist strip. So that's huge. Of course, it's going to get reduced by the reduced boss curse effect, so it's only going to be like, you know, extra 6% LE resist strip, but that's still a big number. 6% is still a lot of LE resist strip. Let's talk about it. I got this nasty scepter. It's not a +2 scepter, but it's pretty much better than any +2 scepter that wasn't like 30x or 40x. It's got 164% increased generic damage, because 30% elemental only plus 100% spell damage and 34% burning damage. So it's 164% increased damage. +1 fire skill gems, and then crafted fire damage over time multiplier, which I need to recraft that at 20, but whatever, it's good for now. So that's everything I've done since then. Still have the Inner Conviction, Militant Faith, just get channeling skills and totem damage. I bought mine for, like 10c. You can get these for 10c. And then just divine until it's Dominus, which should take like 3 divines, maybe even less. Mine took 2. And then just make sure it doesn't affect Quick Recovery, Firewalker, and Arcanist Dominion. And you'll probably get in less than 10 divines. One that's Dominus and doesn't affect these 3 skills. And if it does affect one of the skills, whatever. These skills aren't really important. Quick Recovery is good because it's a lot of life recovery and life. Firewalker is a lot of damage, and fire resistance, which is important, and this is also a lot of damage and cast speed. The cast speed is important because it makes your Scorching Ray totems stack up their damage faster and also turn faster. Their turn rate is based on their cast speed. So we're going to do a Veritania real quick. I don't really feel like rolling it, so we're just going to do a Veritania really fast. It's probably the worst layout to showcase this build. This build does not do very well in close quarters areas. It does well in open maps where it can sweep back and forth easily.
My mana is spent.
Yeah, it does not do good in close quarters because you gotta like pre-cast. It would be nice to get phasing in this build somehow. It would be really nice to get phasing in there somehow. It's one of the biggest issues for clearing in indoor maps is that I can't phase through targets, so I get stuck on them and then get hit and die. So phasing is a huge defensive boost, just logistically speaking. It's really easy on rituals. You just slap in your totems and this is Awakening level 8 4 Watchstone for Tanya. So she's gonna have some pretty beefy HP. And the boss of this map is also gonna have some pretty beefy HP. I'm gonna see if I can burst him down before he summons the scorpions. I hope that's happening. Might not though, because bossing on this character takes a little bit of setup. You gotta get all your totems down, you gotta get your fire traps down so you ignite the enemy for combustion. You gotta get your curse down, and you gotta use your infernal cry. Takes a little bit of setup, so let's get. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I guess the Searing Bond was enough damage to phase him. Searing Bond alone was enough to phase him twice. That's interesting. On a T16 carcass. Or a T whatever it is. Okay. Now let's do Vertania.
Welcome! Time has no meaning here. Your pain
Get my
will
fire
be
traps down.
endless.
And then once your Scorching Totems get their stacks up, the DPS just becomes absurd.
I must have
Like
time
just
to
straight up
back
absurd.
my will.
It takes a little bit of ramp up, but like once it ramps up, it's dealing like I think in my current iteration I'm dealing with 25 million DPS right now. There's a 5-link Tinker Skin. How much do those go for? 15C? Yeah, I want that. Okay. I'm gonna finish off this map real quick.
My mana is spent.
The veil now pulled away. Listen.
Gotta click and you see shut up. Okay, listening to you talk. If only there were an option to just make them shut up permanently. I know you can turn off dialogue, but I like the dialogue of other NPCs. And so it's useful on Cirrus to actually be able to hear his dialogue because he actually gives callouts of what he's doing. So yeah, as I said, I think I'm doing like 24, 25 million DPS right now. Once I get to like level 96 with my large cluster jewel, I'll be doing about 30. And that's at full ramp up, which takes about a second and a half, maybe 2. But once that 1.5 seconds is up, you're going to be doing your full 30 million DPS. And it's going to be nuts. Didn't actually find the final ritual, I'm not sure. Oh, there's only 3 rituals. I guess I just don't get to get that. I'll defer that. I'll take Immortal Hope. I'll take 2 Chaos. Okay. That is how the build functions. I will leave the updated PoE in the description below, so you can check it out, and peace.